everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another die-cast restoration video. So I hope everybody's keeping well since the last video, and I hope you're all looking forward to this one. Before we start, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming back and watching this video. Thank you to all my subscribers, old and new, and if you are new, I hope you will enjoy my channel in the future. Okay, so the video this time, it's another model that was very kindly donated by Mr. Luke Sansom, and it was going to be a custom restoration again, but I changed my mind halfway through, and I do explain later in the video why I changed my mind. It was going to be another CRAPAUD transport vehicle, but then I decided against it. So anyway, you'll see how I get on during the video, so we better get on with it. And this week's restoration is a Dinky Toys. Now it's a Morris J van, J-type Morris, and it's the Royal Mail post van, and it's number 260. So as I always say, please sit back, relax, enjoy watching the video and see how I got on with this one. And I can tell you, I did have a bit of a hiccup with it, which you'll see later in the video. Okay, enjoy. Right, okay, let's take a closer look at this one. Well, this is a Royal Mail van. It's been severely overpainted, thick paint, and you know what I'm looking at there. I'm looking to see, will I put some dual headlights in that one as well? I'll think about that. I might do. Yeah, so the base is a bit all bent, so we'll have to straighten that. One rivet, I've already punched it, make it easier, quicker to get it off. The back is just hinged over. The base is hinged through a sort of a groove. There's a bit, I think it's hooked a bit too much. This looks like it's been dropped that way, because that base is sort of too long to fit in the gap that's there now. So we're going to have to be careful with that when we do that, to make it fit. But I think the back is pushed in as well, so it's obviously dropped that way as well. You can see it's bowed a bit. Now I'm not sure if that bend at the back is meant to be like that. It looks like it may be, I don't know. Okay, we're going to see. I'll straighten all this bit once we got the axles off, and then we'll see how it fits in there. Okay, so let's get the old drill out, and then we'll have a bash at getting the base off. Right, got our tin lid, we got our drill. I'll start off with a small one. My hole puncher, I didn't quite get it in the middle. Okay, slightly bigger drill bit. Wow, this one's bent. I just put a new one in my box and I thought I picked it up, but obviously I hadn't. Could be this one. I think this is the one. Don't know if it's much bigger than that one. No, it's not. Ew. Sorry about this fiddling around. I think this might be the blooming same. That's slightly bigger. A little bit bigger yet, I think. Don't want to go, well, don't want to go too big, but this probably is too big, but it might be just enough. Very slightly more. Almost there. I'm not pushing too hard. Get a screwdriver and see if that's enough. Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay, so that doesn't actually go all the way around. It's not a hole, it's a groove. It's like a U-shaped. So we'll have to get the file in there. I think we can get it in through the wheel arch to file the top off that rivet post. It's quite a big rivet post actually, but we'll have to be careful not to go through the front grille because of the angle. Okay, so this is definitely twisted right underneath. Bit of the base plate. Sorry about that, my toolbox drawer jammed because I had too much, something was sticking up and jamming it. So I need to try and bring that, flatten a bit, bring it round a bit. There's no bar right across, it's just like a couple of, like that. Okay, let's see, that's it, so that's off. So you can see it's bent. Straighten it a little bit, we'll have to do it with the pliers as well. See, it's bent a bit there as well, but I don't know. I think this bit is meant to be bent there because it looks, you can see it. I think that's how it's meant to be. I'm not sure, but I think so. Long way. I think that probably is. So we need to straighten that bit just there, and then I think the rest is, that's how it's meant to be. So we might have to do that when the axle's off. We might be able to do it. Probably not too bad at all. That bit needs straightening, those little bits behind the wheel. A little bit there. They're very, very flimsy. Don't know if that's meant to be up. I think it's probably meant to be up a little bit, not sure. Yeah, that needs a bit more just across there. You can see it on this side. Have to get it from that way when the axle's off. Let me just straighten this out a little bit. Okay, slightly more. I've got these flat pliers. They're smooth inside and they open. You know, they don't open like that. They open sort of like that, and they're brilliant for doing this sort of thing. They really are good. Not far off. So let's see how she fits now. I've still got to do a bit of straightening on the base plate, remember, but I think that's not bad. Just a little bit more there, but that is certainly a lot better. And yeah, that is meant to be like that shape because the van, shape of the van. Okay, so that's cool. Okay, so I'll have to file that. I'll do it off camera. So I'll file that post flat. Once I got it level with the wider bit, then I'll drill down for the rivet. And that'll be pretty much that really. Be ready for the caustic. There's not much to do on that casting. Yeah, so maybe dual headlights, not sure. They won't be very big if I do. This part, got to find the thinnest mushroom, which is that one. Give me a little file. If I can find it. That's the wrong one. There we go. That's this one. Smooth side down. So it doesn't damage the wheel. Tell you what, even though this is the small side, the small mushroom, it's still quite a thick one. Still got a fair bit to come off yet. Let's do more yet. See, even though it's the smooth side I'm using, it is still scratching the hub a little bit, but it's alright because we'll just file the hub after, so it's not the end of the world. Sorry if I keep going out of shot because I'm quite a way away from my bench. I'm leaning forward and it's sort of hurting my back a bit. Oh, this is taking forever to file, this one. Not an easy one to do. There, we're there. So that's enough. It's still quite tight to push it on and off, so that's fine. Okay, I'll do this one off camera. That tyre, I'll use that to match up for some new ones. It could still be used. It's still got quite flexible, but it is a little bit tatty. But yeah, I'll get some new. Okay, I'll put that in the caustic soda and clean it all up, and then next time you see it, it'll be all wire brushed and all nice and clean, ready to put the primer on. I'll have a look if there's any casting lines. I think there's a few little like flashing or whatever they call it in the inside the windscreen. You can see but that side, so I'll file all those sort of bits and then yeah, that'll be ready. I'll have a go, see if I'm going to drill those lights out for dual headlights. Okay, I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, I've wire brushed this, but there's some casting lines there on both sides. That needs to be filed out carefully, and there's a little bit of flashing around the windows, the insides of the frames. Not a lot, but there's a little bit, so we need to do that as well. So it's just a case of doing it with a file. I'm going to have to be careful of these lights. It's not going to be that easy because it's quite a big casting line, that, and it's in a bit of an awkward place. Not easy. So I'm going to carry on doing that. I might have to sand a bit on the roof. Some wet and dry, it's a bit pitted. Yeah, so I was going to go with this as being my CRAPAUD, you know, fleet maintenance vehicle that goes out on the road if there's breakdowns and that. But because the doors are like this, I know it could be an ex-Royal Mail van, I suppose, or Jersey Post. You know, that's quite often it was vans that were from the post office that were used for other purposes afterwards when they sold them on. But there's a blister on the door whilst I'm saying this, I'll have to sort that as well. Yeah, because it's got the Royal Mail van stamped on the base, I'm going to keep it as a Royal Mail van, and I'll look for something else to do my fleet maintenance vehicle, mobile, workshop, whatever you want. Okay, so I'm going to get on with that and then I'll come back to you when it's done. Right, that's it. All done, cleaned, ready for putting the primer on. The base, I'm not going to put primer, I'm just going to go straight in with the black, because the black that I bought the pound shop in England when we were on holiday, it doesn't seem to like the primer and it kind of lifts it a bit. Looks like it's been snowing in the black paint when you put primer underneath. So I just go on with it straight on to the metal, and then I'll maybe do 2 or 3 coats. Seems to work alright like that. Done the wheels are all ready to do as well. So I'm going to go out now, spray the primer on before I have my tea. Okay, see you when that's done. Okay, that's the primer done on the body. Got the base done, looking nice. I've put the primer on the wheels as well. Sorry for the noise, I'm doing some 3D printing. Here's one of the wheels, but they're all done with primer. Now with this, what I'm going to do now, I've got some matte black I'm going to spray. Now I'm not sure if the matte black will have any problems going over this primer, but I'm going to put matte black on the roof, and well, most of it will be sprayed, I suppose, matte black first before I put the red. I think in real life the Royal Mail vans didn't have the roof black, it was red, but I'm going to do it black because the model, the Dinky model, had it sprayed black. So that's what I'm going to do with the roof. And then in real life the mud guards were rubber, black rubber, so I'm going to spray those. And the headlights were black as well, but really those need to be gloss black, so I might paint those in after, at the end before I lacquer it. I might paint those in by hand. Okay, so I'm going to go out and spray some matte black on that, and then we'll see what it looks like then. Okay, so unfortunately the black did react with the primer, so it's back to stripping the paint off again and starting again. So I'm just going to do it, put it in there. Got some nail varnish remover, Q-Tex, that do me. Just put it in on that. To me that's the easiest way to get the fresh paint off. Now then just brush it. I've got a brush here that I use somewhere. I do have a brush that I use. This one will do. That just gets it off. It's easier than trying to put it in caustic again, because the caustic won't get the fresh paint off the same. I'll just put it in that, and then not too much at a time, and then I'll just change it over. The biggest of the paint off, and I'll just get rid of this. I don't tip it down the sink. What I do, I just put some of the blue paper roll I've got, I'll just put that in and mop it up, put it in the bin. and then just put a fresh knot in just to get the last off, and then that makes it nice and clean then. So that's almost off. Still a little bit here and there, but like I say, once I've changed this, put some fresh cleaner in. That'll get all the rest of the paint off. Right, so I'm going to change this and then clean the rest of the paint off, and then I'll go out and spray some primer back on it again. Right, okay, got the red on. I've scraped the grille, the lights and the bumper with a knife. You look on Google Images, that's how the front grille was. Done the badge. I perhaps should have done the steps, although I think I might paint that little piece there. See the little top bit, that should be silver. And then obviously the door handles need to be silver, and the cap there, I'll do black in the hole where the fuel cap is, and then the very little lid of the fuel cap that's in the hole, I'll do silver. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I haven't got black paint, well, I've got a little bit left. I might be able to mask the roof off and do the roof black, but the mud guards I'm going to try and do by hand with my Vallejo paints. See how it turns out. It might be a disaster, I don't know. Those things really are better sprayed on, but I probably won't have enough paint to do everything. It's just the dregs of an old can I had ages ago, and I haven't got any more, you know. It's only that one that reacts with the other paint. So we'll see how it turns out. Okay. Right, okay. That's lacquered. I've done the steps, but the paint's not great. It sort of seems to have spread out a little bit. When I was putting it on, it's just gone sort of. It was one of those Posca paint pens that I got the paint out of and put it in a train. I did it with a brush, but anyway, it's not too bad. These mudguards have got a bit more, well, there's some dollish patches in them since I did this yesterday, but it doesn't matter because they're supposed to be rubber. In real life those were rubber mudguards, rubber wings, whatever you want to call them. So they're not really meant to be painted, I don't think, in real life, so I'm not worried about that. It looks more authentic. Right, what I've done, the pictures I googled, there was a little sign board on the side, advertising sign on each side. I've made some. Well, here we go. There's a couple, there's one here, and I've made an identical one for the other side. Now all I've done, I got a sheet of this card from the pound shop. It's got the shiny silver bit on the other side. So I got some of that, and then cut it into strips. I think it was, I can't remember what width I did it now. And I think it was 1/2 an inch. It was a bit more than a centimetre anyway. So yeah, I did that, cut those into strips, and then I folded the strip over and glued it so that it's shiny on both sides. It doesn't need to be shiny on both sides, but it's it won't hurt to be, and makes it a bit stronger, a bit thicker. This one I haven't cut to size, but anyway, I cut them roughly to size looking at the Google pictures, and like I say, I ended up with this. And what I did then, I printed some stickers out from the picture. I saved them from the Google picture, printed them out, sized them on 3D Paint or Paint 3D on my laptop, and then I stuck them on the silver so that there's like a silver surround, like the silver border all the way around, and those will go hopefully roughly somewhere about there. Anyway, that's the idea. And I don't want to put them on yet until I get the decals, because I've bought them on eBay. They haven't come yet, so I want to make sure that I can put the decals on and still fit this in, so I don't want to do anything too prematurely. What I might do, I might put a bit of lacquer on the spare piece of silver card I've got, just to see what it does to the silver, and if it doesn't do anything, then I might lacquer those over. But those are vinyl stickers. That's vinyl sticker paper, and not like the decals. The vinyl sticker paper, once the ink's dry, it doesn't seem to smudge or move or anything like that, whereas on the decals, as soon as you get a bit of wet on it, it would smudge, and even, you know, if you handled it a bit before it was properly dry, sort of 24 hours or whatever, you might have problems with it. Whereas these vinyl stickers, it doesn't seem to be a problem. But if they can be lacquered, I will lacquer them, just to protect the decal a little bit more. Yeah, so that'll be that. I'm not sure how I'm going to stick them on yet. Maybe double-sided tape, I don't know. You've got to get that right, because if you get them cockeyed at the start, then you can't, once you've stuck that plastered tape down, it doesn't seem to move unless you take the paint off with it. So that's the plan. Meantime, I've got to put the dual headlights in. Right, I put the decals on. They came today, Monday. Got some fingerprints everywhere, greasy fingers. I've put these boards on anyway that I've made, so they've come out quite well. I've put that with double-sided tape, tiny little bit, because they had to go over this ridge, so I used some pretty thick tape. I've got it here, this one, so it's quite that thickness to bridge that gap, well, not bridge the gap, but to make the sign go over that bump and still stick. So now what I want to do is my jeweled headlights. So I'm going to get a bit of this gem tack. I've shown you before, gem tack dries transparent. God, I think I put too much on there. So, a little bit. Go on, get in there. A little bit in there. It's running down the cocktail stick. Going everywhere but where it should. Hang on, let's get a bit more down up to the end. Come on. God, this is annoying. It's not going where I want it to. Flipping heck. Okay, that's it. Right. Ditch that cocktail stick. Right, here we go. Oh, bang my head on the camera again. There's one in. Two in. I probably went out of shot there, I'm sorry if I did. Right, I think that looks rather okay. Quite pleased with that. Okay then. Right, whoopsie, knocked my glue over. Okay, so I'm going to go and have my tea now, and then when I come home from work tomorrow we'll put the tyres on and put the wheels back on the base, and then that'll be another one almost done. Okay, see you in a few minutes. Right, okay, we're going to put the wheels on now. We've got the base there. So the axles and wheels go straight onto the base. Oh, excuse me, I've just had a coughing fit. So we'll have to pin that over. I need to do that down on the floor on my little vise. Okay, here we go. I'll put a bit of paper over that, so I don't want to chip the wheels. And then I'm going to tap it in a sort of a circular motion. Not too hard because we don't want to bend the axle. No, not enough yet. It takes a little while. That's it, nearly there. Seems to be okay, and I think I just caught the flipping rim with a hammer, so I'm going to have to touch that up. That's a pain. Right, that's enough. Right, I'm going to do the other one off camera, and then I'll touch that up, and then we'll put the model together. Right, okay, here we go, ready to put it back together. So we'll tip that upside down. What I'll do, same as I normally do, I'll put the glue I'll put that in the hole, if I can get enough on my cocktail stick. Which I don't seem to be able to do. Okay, there's a bit now coming off there. off the stick. Yeah, should be enough now. Right, so this tongue piece here goes between the back bumpers. I assume they're back bumpers, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so got the rivet. Let's see if I can get that in now. Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave that dry for a minute. I think that's okay, actually I think it's probably enough. And there, that's it. She rolls okay. Right, okay then. That's another one saved from the Dinky scrapyard. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, this restoration. And thank you again, Luke Sansom, for this model. And yeah, I think it's turned out quite nice. I've quite enjoyed doing this one. It was going to be my CRAPAUD transport workshop or mobile workshop, but because it had Royal Mail stamped on the base, I decided to do it as what it was, the Royal Mail van. So I've added the signs on each side, and put the jewelled headlights. Didn't do the roof black, but we did the mudguards black instead. And I think that it looks rather nice like that. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this one. And if you have, well, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, well, join me again next time for another diecast restoration video. And before I go, I'll put the still shots up. I'll take some outdoor shots as per usual, and then we'll put her back on the old turntable and compare before and after again. Okay then, so until next time, please take care, look after yourselves, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheerio for now. Bye bye. A bateau.